Today, we are doing a very special program here at Omega Live regarding the knife and gun crime epidemic that has taken over the country, where our young people are experiencing difficulties. So the question is, why are more young people carrying knives? What is driving them to carry knives? What is driving our young people to be involved in issues with antisocial behavior, knife, gangs, gang affiliation, to understand that in some areas, most young people are afraid to go out. And many families, children and families are also experiencing difficulties. Today, like I said, we have very, very important person here, Bishop Francis Sarpong. Bishop Francis Sarpong is the Bishop of Calvary Charismatic Baptist Church, with about 30 churches in London and around the world, worldwide. Thank you, Bishop, for coming.
Thank you, and God bless you for having me.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here with your very, very busy schedule. This shows that this topic or area of work is very, very important as far as the church is concerned. Thank you. Thank you. And also, we have Mr. Anthony Poku, who lost his son, DJ Banga, and Elion Poku, not long ago, which is almost about 6 months ago. Welcome, Mr. Anthony Poku.
Thank you.
I will start with you, Mr. Poku, regarding what happened to your son. If you can tell us a little bit about the community that you live in. You know, I know your son have a very good future. He was looking forward to things like his lifestyle. And if you can give us a little bit about his lifestyle, you know, and what his friendship group. And the difficulty is that not many people are coming forward regarding what happened to your son. And we are also appealing to the community that anyone who may have any information which could lead to the arrest of DJ Banga, Elion Poku, to contact the police. Can you give us a little bit, a brief analysis of your son and growing up as a boy? I understand he's your only son.
Yes,
or your only child.
yes, please.
Yeah. Before I say that, how was your journey coming here?
It was a bit easier.
Easier.
Because the minicab driver knew exactly where he was coming.
Okay, that's good. And how is your wife as well?
And
how is she coping?
by the grace of God, God is strengthening her.
Thank you.
Day after day.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, following what happened to your son, and now, or with all these growing events, you know, what is your own bit of analysis about what we're talking about?
Well, Nana is gone. At the very beginning, it wasn't easy at all for the family and friends, the community. But as a Christian, I said, God gives and God takes. Whatever I will do, Nana is not coming back. So we have to give our life to God, because He knows our going out and coming in. So now the tension or the emotions that was within the family, by His grace, have gone down.
Okay.
But still, we remember Nana. We'll never forget it.
Yes, it's true. In particular, your wife as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very difficult period. Yeah, we have Bishop here. And like I said, yesterday, Calvary Charismatic Baptist Church, you know, the young people, CCBC, they were out in the community.
CPC.
PC, yes, CPC, they were out in the community in Stratford, you know, showing awareness, you know, campaigning, show with the keen interest of what was happening, you know, to our young people in the community, educating the community about this. And what motivated you, Bishop, to kind of bring on this initiative? And also, in terms of the church, what the churches are doing on your part with a very busy schedule, 30 churches, you know, in London and worldwide, and your commitment towards this. What kind of, I understand you was out there, you know, with them throughout. What motivated you to come up with this initiative?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And God bless you. And also, Mr. Poku, God bless you. And my condolence to you again for losing such a great and only son. If you hear the story of Mr. Poku, that could tell you the motivation. We're losing our future senselessly. He's the only child, and I have 5 children. And I can't imagine losing even one.
Yes.
And he has lost the only child at his age. So you could see that this is a menace that is plaguing our environment and our community. And everything has to be done to make sure that we solve this problem. I want to greet Archbishop Frimpong Manson, the High Commissioner, and the community leaders who have been at the forefront of this. And as an introduction, I will say that myself and Archbishop have been doing this for the past 5 years.
Yes.
And most of them are not published. But we've been everywhere campaigning to make sure that our future generation are not, does not become does not become a race that will not be able to live to their full potential.
Yeah.
Because they are being wiped out.
It's very sad.
And my prayer is that we'll be able, with a little campaigns, we'll be able to solve this problem once and for all. We've buried over 200 Ghanaian children and Caribbean children week after week. And the pain that you see, something similar to what Mr. Poku lost his son, Elion, or Nana Banga, as his DJ name. The pain that the families go through, that is what has motivated us to be doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, we learned that, Bishop, that more and more young people are carrying knives. Some say they're carrying it for protection. Some it's because of they want kind of power and control to make them feel powerful. Some they feel that by carrying it, you know, and then other people cannot hurt them. And it's getting out of control. Now, in the perspective in terms of church and parenting, you know, what is driving most parents, you know, to experience difficulty to the extent that their children will carry knives, whereby they don't have any knowledge of it?
Well, in the beginning, when we started, like I said, myself, Archbishop Frimpong Manson, and other community leaders have been fighting this for the past 5 years. When we started, we thought we know the answers. We thought, okay, because they don't have a lot of social amenities, that's why they're doing that. And we realized that most of the things that we thought were the answers were wrong. And after 5 years, you can put it to a complex issues. It's not only one issue. And if I'm to enumerate a couple of the issues, number one, lack of community facilities is part of it.
Yes.
When the children close from school, there's not a lot for them to
do.
The teenagers, when they close from school, there's not a lot for them to do. We also realized that the gang culture was also a contributing factor. When they started doing the postcode, you cross to this place, you don't belong there. But we've moved beyond the gang culture, then drug was also introduced in. So they're not killing because of postcode, they're killing because people are selling drugs left and right, and if you are not supposed to go here and you go there. Then we also saw that there are other factors that, like if you join the gang, you need to do something stupid for them to accept you. Recently, two white girls were one were stabbed in East London, and one died.
Yeah.
And it's like she had no knowledge of anything. They were just sitting there listening to music, and this boy just came, saw them, came back to stab them. And the investigation shows that this boy might have been sent to just kill, to show that he's tough, so that they accept him into. So it's a complex issues that has put to this. And if even we are finding it difficult to know, then obviously the parents who probably don't spend much time with their children also will find it difficult to know.
You mentioned a good point. Parents who don't spend much time with their children. I mean, I realize that most parents don't know their teenagers. They don't know their children. You know, communication breakdown, total communication breakdown at home. And they don't know what to do. And also family breakdown, where family conflict, also another area. You know, mental health issues, parental mental health issues as well. But many also mention poor educational attainment of parents themselves, rather than the young people. Because they say that if the parents, I mean, today, one lady was telling me that she traveled to this country at the age of 35 with no qualifications. Now her children, you know, it's difficult for her to kind of understand what the school is doing. And rather than seeking for help, she feels a bit embarrassed about it. Is this all part of the causes? And how will the church be able to kind of use this as a way forward, you know, to kind of educate parents and support them one way or the other?
When you talk about the parenting, that's where I come in as a pastor.
Yes.
I would not actually say that the poor parental educational attainment contribute to it, because there are parents, a couple of our parents, they didn't know anything, but they pushed their children to go to school. But what I will attribute it to is the fact that the parents in this country, especially this started with the black children.
Yeah.
Now it's an epidemic, but it started mostly with the black children.
Yes.
And the parents in this country spend most of their time working. They go to work in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. So by the time they come home, they themselves, they are tired. So there's no interaction with the kids for you to know exactly what's going on. How was school, whether even the kids, they have been to school or not, the parents are not involved. So on that side, what I would say is that the parents of today, the interaction between them and the kids is lower. So minimal. There's no engagement. By the time they come from work, they are tired, they eat, they go into bed. So if parents can spend enough time, you come home, your teenager is sitting there, how are you doing, how was school? Maybe the teenager says, I'm going out, okay, where are you going, what are you going to do, who are you going with? If we can engage them right from the age of 12, 13, 14, then it becomes part and parcel of our lives. If you don't, and they get to 18 and you want to control them, it becomes very bad. So it's very important that parents engage their children right from the age of 10, 11, when they get to secondary school, that you figure out what they are doing, where they are going, how is their education, go to the school, speak to the parent-teacher situations and their form teachers. They normally know more about their children than you, the parent. But if you don't engage, you don't even know. Most of the black, parents don't even go to the parent-teacher
they don't go
association.
to
They don't go to the meetings because they are working. So
true.
They have no idea what's happening in the lives of the children. So I will appeal to parents that, look, this thing that is happening, everybody's young boy or young girl is at stake. Their lives are at stake. Make sure you engage your children. Don't think, as for me, my children are very good. Let me give you just some few figures. 135 young people died last year, which means every week 3 or 4 people were stabbed.
It's very high.
Every week. By the time the week goes to an end, 3 families are dying. By the time the week goes to an end, 3 families are crying. By the time the week go to an end, an auntie and mother. So this is an epidemic. The police commissioner said that this is a matter of national emergency. It started with London, but now it's everywhere. The Guardian made a report that now the knife crime is even higher outside London.
Yes.
So this is a matter of urgency. And on the parental side, later on I'll talk about some of the ways that we can, I believe we can solve it.
Yes.
But on the parental side, if parents can spend time, I'm just coming with my family from a restaurant.
Yeah.
I set a time aside every week where we all, wherever you are, we gotta spend time together, go somewhere. If even it's McDonald's, we go and sit there and we eat.
You are mentioning this, and I will add to it.
Okay.
And then you.
That's right. If it's Nando's, we go and sit down, all of them, and sometimes I invite their friends. So engaging with them.
It's very good.
It's very good. Then you can know what they are involved in. Sometimes they bring their friends, that you can talk to them, that you can pick up so many things. But we don't do that. And that is one of the contributing factors.
So, I mean, also, other people have mentioned that with us coming from, you know, third world countries, the Caribbeans also coming from other, I mean, foreigners in general who then bring up their children here. Our family values then become in conflict with our children's identity. As the children grow up here, they pick the lifestyle here. And then some families lose that family values, in the sense that you have your young people whereby some parents, they don't speak in their language to their children. The children are not eating their food. They not even, there are cases where, there was a case where a father was saying that, you know, he met his son, but the son just crossed off across the road with his friends. The father approached him, tried to call him, and he was saying that he doesn't know him. Now, how do we improve this area? Because the moment, this is where I think that the moment we are not able to control our children, I mean, I've seen even fathers or parents running away from their children because of their violent behavior. They are actually scared of them because they have lost that important point that you was making about spending time with your children, instilling family values in them. Do you go to church? Do you go with your children? I mean, most parents will go to church. They will leave their children at home. Their teenagers don't want to know. You know, and we're not only talking about that, we're also talking about the Muslim community as well, where it's happening, that their young people are here. I mean, there are cases where they also are experiencing the same difficulties. And I mean, these are all contributing factors. In your view, what do you think a way forward around this? Because it's a kind of a challenge for us. Yes. How do you help your children to have the same values that you have? Or at least kind of compromise with your one in between? Because you speak in your language, you speak in English to them, they can't even respond. You want them to be like you, but they don't want to be like you. They want to form their own identity, and how do you balance that?
One of the things that I always say is that, you see, the Bible says, let me quote the Bible here,
yes,
train up a child the way they should go, so that when they grow, they will not depart from it.
Yes.
Training is a progressive thing. It does not end until probably the child has left home. So it's something that you do consistently.
Yes.
And I've been a pastor here for about 30 years. I've seen children born in the church, and I've seen children grown in the church who now also have their own children. And I've seen that it is true. If you train them,
yes,
you don't just bring them up. Some of the parents just bring them up. They don't train them. If you train them with values.
Yes.
You train them with responsibility. You train them that this is what our culture demands.
Yes.
Because look, we're not the Asians have their culture. And they do well with especially the Indians, they do well with training their even the way they dress.
Yes.
You understand? It's very difficult to get our children to dress the way we dress, but the Asians, they just dress the same.
Your food, even your food smell.
That's
At
right.
home, they complain.
So So we have to train them. We have to let them know the values that we brought from Africa. I always say that at the end of the day, we'll go back to the same traditional values of making sure that you train up the child, making sure that there's discipline attached to whatever you are doing. Later on, I'll talk about the mode of discipline, which is making the judgments a laughing stock. So training up the children with your culture, your values, you let them know that if you kill, you have taken a life that doesn't belong to you. Forever, the blood of that person is going to be in your head. If you train the children this way, killing will be something they would not even think about. But if we just leave them, we go to church like whether they want to come or not, you don't care. We go to family meetings, whether they want to come. We literally leave them.
Do you get church members praying with each other, like with their children at home and things like that, and maybe supporting them with that value, the concept of Christianity, because you are pastor, bishop, and obviously you have understanding of people coming there? Do your church members, do they do these things, like pray with their children?
We teach them to do it, but I will not say all of them do it. Probably the percentage that have devotion with their kids in the house, maybe once a week, twice a week, I would say is small. But it's something that I urge them to do. To have a family time with the kids. And you could see that the families that spend time with the kids, education, teaching them, having regular fellowships, meal, having devotion. That's why I say training is a process. It's not only telling them what to do, but involving them in the things they do. For example, we had the demonstration.
Which Joe will be showing
just this Sunday. And if you watch, majority of them are young. You understand? Majority of them are young. Majority of them are even under 16, 14, 15, 16. Why were they there? They were there because it was told to them, or it was preached to them, that look, this knife crime is bad. It's killing our future. So let's go out there and tell other young people that this is bad. So once they get this message from this, and you can see that young boys, young girls, they were the ones who are out there. Now, it will be very difficult if, as you see, you will see most of those who are singing, most of those who are dancing, and this is the steps of Westfield. The whole world is there. People are passing by, but these are young people. These are not adults. You understand? It's not 60, 70-year-old talent. It's their own children. So this is some of the training that we're trying to, and we every Sunday we have over 100 young people who are there to listen to the Word of God and to listen to also good teachings and to let them know that look, carrying a knife is a menace. It's not good. Killing somebody is not good. So let's go out there and preach the gospel to your people. Tell them that it's bad to carry a knife. Choose a life, not a knife, and that young lives matter. So educating them at this age, it will be very difficult for the same people to go and pick a knife to go and kill someone. Those of us who were there were like 50. If every church is doing that, that's the contribution of the church. How many churches don't we have in London? If every church is out there, in every corner. Look, there was a time we wanted a place in Waltham Forest for a branch. They told me from the council there is no empty space. Any hall in the whole Waltham Forest, every hall is occupied by church. If every church is doing that
a long time
on the streets, they are 20, they are 30, with their young ones, telling other young people that young lives matter. Nana's life matter. But now Nana is no more. Nana could have been the future person to look after daddy. Nana is no more. So if you have the young ones themselves telling other young ones that young lives matter, choose a life, not a knife. Look, it can take one man for the message to travel across. For the other young ones to also say that, look, this is not like adults lecturing us. Our own are telling us. We had some of the guys there who were as big as Joshua.
Yes.
Who were in front also saying the same thing.
Yes.
People were coming around. I mean, there were a lot of white people who come and say, look, well, I might not believe in your religion or whatever, but what you are doing is good. You say, what can we also do? I said, what you can do is to just do what we are doing. Tell it out there. Take your kids out there. If even it's in a corner with 3 of your kids, to carry placards that young lives matter, that will always contribute to solving the problem.
So how do we, you mentioned a very good point in that here, that if all the churches are out there doing the same thing, that could help make a difference. And is there a way that you can organize a conference to invite all the churches to come together, you know, as a way forward? Because I think this is a epidemic. This is a very serious stage now, that we can bring all the churches together, you know, that we talk, because we try as a community to do various different conferences, but it seems like it's not hitting, like you said, it's not hitting on the nail, you know, it's not going nowhere. The mayor of London is trying, pumping money in, it's still not making any difference, you know. So I feel that the church initiative could be one way, all community leaders coming together for a way forward. And as what, in your view, what can you also do to support this initiative in terms of helping bring them together? Okay. I know I'm putting you up there.
Yes, at this place, I will talk about one of the ways of solving the problem.
Yes.
And I have entitled mine community engagement. One group cannot solve this problem.
Yeah.
The church alone cannot solve this problem.
Yes.
I've put down about 6 important community groups that can help solve this problem. Of course, I've put the church down as one. There are churches everywhere. If we use our pulpit, if we use our young people, for them to know that church is not just about going to dance and do all those things. Church must go beyond the walls of the church. Churches are involved in the plagues that happen in the community. God is interested in the young one who is dying. God is interested in the life of Nana. God is interested in the life of all these Bodu and all these people. So if they are dying and we can do something, let's go out there. Let's close early, go out there and also show to the community that we care. Another group that we can also engage are the youth clubs. There are a lot of youth clubs and youth groups who are out there, and nobody seems to care about them, but they know what is happening more than we do. So if we will go there, find people, it could be a club of 10, it could be a club of 20, go there, speak to them and figure out what is happening. How can we help? Look, let me tell you, when Nana died and I came there and I spoke, you could see that the friends were disturbed.
Yes.
When their friends died, they are not happy. So all of them are not happy what is happening, but they think that if that is the game, then let's play it. But if we get down to them and say, look, this thing, we want it to stop. What do you think? The youth clubs, they will tell us a lot.
Bishop, I will take you back to the church then before youth club.
Okay.
Now, with the church, are church members open enough? You know, I know that in the pulpit, you'll be preaching to them, you know, doing the Sunday school, different children's services and all that. Are they church members open enough and honest with their situation to say that I have a problem and I need help? And do churches have a responsible person who deals with such matters to support them should they experience those difficulties?
I will say yes and no. I'll say yes and no, because most of our churches are not shaped in a way that they will have a proper youth organized group, have a youth attendant, have a child policy, have a youth policy, that if this young person is in trouble, he knows this is the person to go to. So most of our churches, I would say most of our churches, or probably half of them, is just meeting together and having church service and go. So there could be young people who come around and they have serious problems, but the church structure is not such that they can easily identify. So I recommend that all churches must be able to, in this epidemic period, must be able to make sure they appoint somebody.
Yes.
Now look, every young person, if you're having a problem, there's this young group here, go and talk to them. Once the young people know there is something like that, we will get a percentage. It's not every young person who will come, but at least you save the vulnerable. There are some who seriously want to talk to people.
Yes. I
I always make myself available to the young people.
Yes,
like if you look at the clip, I was there with them.
Yes, I know.
And then so they come to me, and I always said, look, I'm almost 60. If they will come to me, which means if we identify their own groups, they will be able to go to them because they could see that you care about them. Young people will not share. If even you are a father and you are a mother, if they could perceive that you don't really care about their situation, they will not share anything with you.
Thank you. Then also the youth club, before you go to the next point, most perception out there with youth club is that they go there to kind of engage in issues with drugs and social behavior. So most parents are reluctant for their young people to go there. So with the youth club, most parents are reluctant. You know, they said we want them to go, but at the same time they're thinking, oh, what sort of people go there? So maybe parents could go with them.
What I'm saying here is that the youth club that already exists,
yes,
they are there. Sometimes your child go there, you don't even know.
It's true.
So if I'm a community leader and I want to solve this problem, let me identify the youth clubs that are there and then approach them.
Yes.
And talk to them. And look, this thing is causing mayhem. How do we solve it?
Yes.
You can have a debate with them. Now, you'll be amazed the information they have.
Yes.
They have more information. Every information that I have is from the young people.
It's true.
Because they are living in the culture. Some things we think we know, but we don't know. So what I'm saying is that let's engage the youth clubs.
Yes.
We can't just go to the top. The youth club, there could be 10 people. Let's engage them and ask them how this thing can be solved. Then sports club. There's also sports club where some of them join and they travel here and there. Let's engage them because that's what the young people are into. And figure out what is happening among them. How can we solve this problem? Then we are engaging every community agency to solve the problem, because what is happening, not one, we can put even the soldiers out there. That alone will not solve the problem.
It's true.
Then club owners. Club owners. Those who own clubs that people come there every week. Look, every week there was a time I just went around, just driving around clubs, just to see what's happening. And you'll be amazed the number of young people that are in there.
Yes.
When I'm driving from the house through Ilford to the house, along the street, 12 midnight, you'll be amazed the number of young people. It's scary.
It's scary.
These club owners, they're also stakeholders. Engage them. What's happening? What do you think we can do? Because they will also not be too much interested in dying. A time will come, nobody will even want to go to the club.
Yes.
Because they know they will die.
Yes.
So if you engage them properly, they will all add their knowledge to solving the problem. Because if they don't add their knowledge in solving the problem, then what is going to happen is that time will come, nobody will even want to go to the club.
Yes.
So they will be out of business. Then another controversial group is what I call the gangs themselves. Engaging the gangs. Look, if you look at the whole world, problems have been solved in warring factions by engaging the warring people themselves.
Yes.
The Northern Ireland and the UK, it was the IRA, the people who were killing, that has to sit down.
Yes.
You understand?
And negotiate.
And negotiate and talk.
Yeah.
Look, we can't take the gangs out. They are already there. Let's find a way of probably even getting former gang masters, members, to go and engage them. Now look, this. If you're able to let them stop. Look, when I was speaking at Nana's place, I said that, look, there are some of you here who can stop this thing from happening. Because you command influence. you command respect. At the same time, that one person, if he says, we're also going to take revenge, another person is going to die. So I'm persuading them that whoever has the influence, as either a gang leader or a youth leader, to command this revenge attack to stop, let that person try their best. So we need to figure out how to engage the gangs.
The community, most people are just, even the hearing gangs, you know, they say no, they don't want anything. And their perception is that, and sometimes it's a negative perception to say that anyone who they see, they feel that they're not dressed in such a way, then they associate them with the gangs, which they may not even be in the gangs, where the rare gangs are there. It's a very difficult area, engaging them. But I think, yes, like you said, we have to find a way.
If the IRA has not been engaged, we will still be seeing bombing here. You understand? So I believe that the authorities must be able to identify. Look, the police know all the gangs.
Yes.
They know who is in it.
Yes.
They know where they are.
Yeah.
But you see, you can't just go and arrest them.
You don't have any evidence.
You don't have any evidence. But they know that they are here. They know the names. They know who is in what. Most of the time, if you push them, they will tell you that, look, this person is that. Most of the time, as a pastor, when something of this sort happen and I ask one or two questions, they tell me something that the parents don't know.
Yes.
You understand? Because everybody thinks their children are angels.
Angels, yes.
But there could be the angels in the house, and it could be terrorists
when
outside.
they go outside. They are different.
Outside. So engaging these people, because that is my fourth.
Bishop, these gangs, some of them, I mean, every gang have their own aim and motives. Some they involve in stealing. Some it could be drugs. It could be different things, and you know, some of them are hungry. You know, they didn't have any educational achievement or attainment. 2, they come from maybe a poor family background. 3, poor parental control or insight of the children is. Some, I mean, you meet some young people, they're saying that they feel that education is not the route, looking at their parents. So they feel, they want a quick buck. So they take this route. Now, changing the way they think and everything, it's not an easy work, because I think the society leaves it, the community, we leave it too late for a lot of them to understand that how come a 40-year-old is still living with their parents? A 38-year-old is still living with their parents. You have 20-year-old, 25-year-old, 26, they're still living with their parents. And maybe the parent live in a 2-bedroom, but the house is chucked with maybe 5 people there. And all the children, they don't have anything. So their only way of making a quick buck is they take off it this way. And it's a big challenge. And I think the church route and what the church is doing, the church initiative is something that we all support.
Yeah. In coming back to how to solve the problem,
yes.
Over the 5 years, I have seen about 5 ways that we can do that, about 4 ways. And one is what I just said, the community engagement.
It's a very good initiative.
Let's engage every stakeholder. Let's go to them. Let's find out from them. Let's try and even go to parents like Mr. Poku and ask what he has heard, because
would they be open, Pastor? Because some parents will not be open up.
Well, ask him.
Well, okay, if you don't mind me asking, did you experience in terms of DJ Banga, your son Elion, you know, his friendship group?
Yeah.
What were they like?
They were respectable youth. I never saw any wrongdoing with them. They were united like one family, right? And Nana was their mentor. What Nana tell them don't do, they won't do. What Nana would say, let's go, they all follow him. Before even he wakes up in the morning, they are already sitting at the corridor waiting for him. Right? Nana wasn't a troublemaker, neither none of his friends. The only crime that I can identify was driving crime, like parking tickets, overspeeding. That was the only crime that I saw with my naked eye. Apart from that, they respect the adults and the community that we live in. Everyone respected them.
Okay, thank you. We leave, yeah, Bishop will continue with the
Yes.
problem solving.
The problem solving, number one, more policing.
More please, thank you.
Theresa May, excuse me to say, when she was the Home Secretary, drove the curtain of police. So it's been very difficult for her to accept that the police reduction in numbers is contributing to the crime.
Yes.
But Crusader Dick, the current police chief, said that knife crime and police cuts are linked. Contradicted what Theresa May said.
Yes.
They are linked. Now, when I came here, everywhere you pass, there's police.
Yes.
Something little, they call, there are about 10 police cars. Mr. Poku will bear witness.
Yeah.
When they call, there's 10 police cars will come, and it's just something little before they all disperse.
Yeah.
You pass here. Now, if you, what you said earlier, why are they carrying that? They are afraid. You understand? Why are they afraid? Because they think there's nobody there to protect them.
Yes.
Now, if there are police all over the place, why would I be afraid? Because the police is there. But now, if you walk through here, have you seen any policeman?
No.
No.
Even driving these days.
You
The camera
don't-
is the one doing the work.
You don't see any policeman. So the cutting of the police makes the young ones think that, look, when we commit this crime, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I have seen a couple of situations whereby they will just jump on somebody and beat that person. And will you intervene?
No.
There are a couple of times I have tried.
No.
But if there's a policeman, you barely pick a fight in front of a policeman.
Yes.
Because he radios, 5 cars come. By the time you are aware, they've surrounded you. When we came here about 30-something years ago, when you play the fool, the British police, they don't carry anything. They radio. Within a minute, you have been surrounded.
Yes.
They arrest you and they take you. So we were afraid. There was fear. And there was also the assurance
Yes.
that the community was being policed. Today, there are no police anywhere. You call the police. Our church is in an area where there's a park around. And sometimes some of these kids will be throwing stones, breaking glass. You call the police, it will be an hour before they even show up.
Yeah, it's true.
So the kids know that what they are doing, no police is going
and
to come.
some of them cover their faces
Yeah.
as well. With
No
hood.
police is going to come back. In the olden days, the police will be roaming around.
Yes.
So you wouldn't dare to
No.
do that. So more policing in the community, which the police commissioner has indicated is something that we have to. And also what I call tougher sentencing. Look, for the past 1 month, I've been in a couple of the jails, visiting a couple of these young people who have been incarcerated because either they were carrying a knife or whatever. When you go there and you speak into them, they'll say, oh, carrying knife at most 4 months.
Yeah.
You understand? They will say just 4 months, then I'm out. Now, watch this. Gun crime and knife crime. If you are found with a knife, with a gun, and you can't show why you have it, minimum you are going in like 4 years. If you are found with a knife, you are going 4 months. 4 years, 4 months.
4 months, yeah.
But the knife kills 10 times the gun.
Yeah. Yes.
You understand? So the gun and the knife, which is more dangerous? You understand?
Yeah.
If you are
Because
found with a
more
gun,
people are with the knife.
with a knife.
Yeah.
If you are found with a gun, minimum 4 years. If you are found with a knife, minimum 4 months. But the knife is killing more people than the gun. So the knife is more dangerous than the gun.
Yes.
Which means these kids think that when they are found with a knife, it's just 4 months. And even by the time they talk about this, they're out. Some of them are in as I'm speaking.
Yes.
By the time you bring the case, they're out. So they don't feel that there is enough sentencing. If there are tougher sentencing, if you're a young man and you are found with a knife and you can't explain why you have the knife and you are going 4 years, do you think this case will carry the knife?
No, they will stop.
They will not.
Yeah, it's true.
You understand?
Yeah, they will
They
stop.
will not, because they know that when you have this, you are going in for 4 years. Now, the contradiction here is even that this government is saying that if you carry a knife, it's 4 months. They themselves have also come up with another law that all this, they are trying to bring it that all sentences are run under 6 months must be abolished.
Yes.
So which means that this knife thing, which is 4 months, you're going to abolish it and find some community thing for them to do.
Yes.
Now, if this person is a habitual carrier of knives and is in the community sweeping around, the likelihood that he will commit the offense again is stronger than putting him in. I tell you that the young people, if they are in for 4 years for carrying knife, few of them will think about that. About carrying knife.
Yes.
So,
sweeping the community,
Yeah.
doing the odd jobs they will not do.
they will not do. They won't even do it well. Who is going to police them?
Yes.
You see, and they are still carrying the knives with them.
Yes.
So sentencing, tougher sentencing is very important, and also more community recreational facilities. Look, more basketball courts, more football, community football pitch. More young people have the adrenaline. When we came here, there were a lot of community centers.
Yes.
There were the YMCAs, the YWCAs. When you come out of school, there's something to go and do.
Now there's nowhere.
There's nowhere. Every place has been sold. The government is not investing in community activities for young people. When we came here, people were paid to be football coaches. So the pitch is there. You just come in the evening and they train you.
Yes.
Most of these are gone. So the young people of today, when they come out of school, they are looking for something to do. And the Bible said the devil finds work for the idle hand. So somebody, a bad adult who want to take advantage of the innocence of these young ones, who push drugs to them to go and sell,
Yes.
so that he will give them money to go. You were talking earlier about the parents not having a lot of money and all of that. Look, I always say that, especially if you take the expatriates, our life here is far better than what we were used to in Africa.
Africa, yeah.
Were we carrying knives killing people?
No.
We weren't. So that cannot be used as an excuse. You understand? Some of us were brought up 10 children in one room.
Yes.
But that shouldn't tell you, that should even urge you to do something better. I always tell the young ones here, look, here your university is free. The government gives you money. Your social schools and all of them. Do something. If you've been born here and you are not taking advantage, your mother came here as a cleaner, but you have been born here. You have the right to go to school, primary school, secondary school, vocational school, university for free, and you don't take advantage of it. Don't blame the government. You have the choice. Here, when you go to school and you do your GCSE, they will, and you want to proceed, they will find something for you to do. So I always say that those are excuses, but they are not the main thing. But it's a complex issues. That's what I enumerated.
It's a good point, Bishop. Parents, most African parents, they blame the system rather than taking responsibility. Not only African parents, a lot of parents do that. They blame the system. They say they blame the system rather than taking responsibility, for their children. They feel that in terms of disciplining their children, which I always say to them that, you need to adopt the lifestyle here. As a parent, you need to kind of awareness of what is happening inside. And if you're a parent, you have understanding of your own needs, then you'll be able to help your children as well. But most parents are sending their money back home. I mean, a young person was telling me that he cannot understand how they are struggling at home, but his dad have a house in Ghana. And for the past 7 years, he's not even been there. Why didn't you invest that money here? And therefore, this child is also thinking that there is no point of him kind of listening to his parents because they have failed. So he have his own idea, and his own idea is to make a quick buck. How do we address this and educate them? Maybe the churches will be able to help and educate them in that area of work.
We would do our best, but the parents have a responsibility.
Yes.
The brain surgeon, Ben Kaysen, who was part of the American presidential candidacy for the, I think, the Republicans or so, or I think maybe the Democrats in America. They came from a very poor home. The mother couldn't read, but the mother would buy a book and give it to the child. Sometimes he has turned the book upside down.
Yes.
The child will take it to the mother to read. He's turned it upside down and he's talking about something else. But she instilled that discipline to read in the baby. He became the first person to open, to separate the brains of two Siamese twins. The first person in the whole world, a black person, from a very poor home. So as parents, if even we don't have education, let our children know that it is important they do something for themselves. I have a lot of young people, and I can see that currently it's difficult to even get some to work with, because those who have gone to school, they are all working.
Yes.
You understand? They are all working. So I always tell them, look, do something with your life. We are not saying everybody must go to university to get a degree or whatever, but you can do something in a vocational school, in a college. At least do something for yourself. If we instill that into our kids, being the church, being as a parent, if we let our children know that, then they will grow to become somebody better. Rather than leaving them sitting in the house, you don't push them to go to school, so they're looking at, I didn't go to school, I don't have any qualifications, so what can I do? Then probably the only thing I can do is to turn to a life of crime. But if you have pushed the child a little bit, train them. Okay, you can go to sixth form, but from O levels, you can go and learn this. What do you want? Go and learn it. At least our children will have something. And when they can make their own money, they won't be sitting at the, at the parks for somebody to come and offer them £50 and say, go and sell drugs for me.
That's true. Thank you. I just want you to know that this program is sponsored by Omega House. Omega House sponsor Omega Live TV. Omega Live TV, and Omega House do a number of things. If you are doing a party or if you are doing a funeral and you need flyers, posters, you know, video, photography for wedding or any occasion, you know, Omega House, you know, will look after you and do it for you. We do flyers, posters, folded leaflets, brochures, booklets, bookmarks, banners. We do stationery, business cards, letterheads, invitations, greeting cards, complimentary cards, postcards, ticket, calendars. And if you want to contact us, the number is 0208 520 3359. 0208 520 3359. Thank you. And also, I have Bishop Francis Sarpong here. Bishop, if someone, the initiative you are doing is good. If someone wants to join, you know, they have a young person or their parents want to kind of come to your church, or because you have a lot of branches, you know, what did they do, Bishop? And how do they go on about it?
What I have done for the past year is to establish a young adult church, youth and young adult church. And they are kind of a bit interdenominational. They're not only Calvarians. And we meet in Westfield. at the View Cinema. Because these young people going to church, if they wouldn't go, if you invite them to have church in a cinema, they'll go.
Yes.
So every week we have over 100 kids there. And the idea is to train these kids to be the mouthpiece of the future generation. Because we've seen that the child with Jesus is different from the child without Jesus.
Yes.
The child that give their life to Jesus and follow the Jesus lifestyle, they are able to handle these vices more. For example, the whole year, what have I been preaching? I've been preaching of building Christian character. I've been talking about patience. And I said when I was preaching on patience that patience, if you have it, it's a Christian character. It's a godly character. You must have it. Then it will help you not to be angry and kill somebody. A lot of people who have committed murder because they were angry. But if you have patience, so I will encourage, if even your children can come to church there, send your children to a good church where they'll be trained in the godly way, because if they receive Jesus into their lives, their perspectives become different.
Yes.
And that will help them. As a pastor, that is the best recommendation that I can. Because I don't know of any other power that can really change a person than the power of Jesus Christ. That can make the drug addict pull it down, the pimp stop, the one who is killing people turn around. And I'll recommend that if you have a child, take them to church. Recommend them to good. Nowadays there are a lot of good youth churches. We meet at the View Cinema every Sunday between 11 and 2. And a lot of young people are giving their lives to Jesus. And I believe that if churches do that, churches have young adult fellowships, it will help the young people to identify rather than going to their mom and dad church, which they think is not too young people friendly. So that's what I'll recommend.
Thank you. If you are a parent and you want your young person to attend, as Bishop was saying, they can go to View Cinema in Stratford between 11 and 2 p.m. Yeah, thank you. So, Bishop, this is going and it's growing, and you have come up with a lot of points. Do you have a message for the community? First, for the parents, that what did they do, and also for the young people, because a lot of parents don't know where to turn. They have their young people at home. The young people have become elephant in the house where they can't control them. Some parents are living with their, like I said earlier on, with older children. They are 40 and they're still there. They don't know what to do. They don't have a job. They don't have anything. They just get up in the morning, dress and go out. Where the parents don't even know where they're going. And the moment their parents open their mouth, they want to eat them. Then they also, the parents themselves also struggling with their everyday living. And some of the young people are also picking the lifestyle from the parents. Because if you live right, then they will follow, like you said, you train a child the way they should go. But they are struggling. Some are engaged in alcohol. Some parents are engaged in drugs. Fraud also is epidemic in our country, in our community, and all this lifestyle. So what message do you have for parents and also for the youth themselves to help them? And those who are also stuck with their parents, they don't know because they didn't have a job, Bishop, they can't go and rent a place. They can't get mortgage. There's nowhere. It's like it's the end. So some tend to crime because they feel that this is the way out for them. Right.
In conclusion, I would say that to the government, we want more policing. We want a lot of investment into our community. We want the government to look at the young people as future generation. So spending on them is not money that is being thrown out. So more policing, more investment in the community. To the community groups like churches, I want to encourage them not just to be interested in what we do in church, but to see this as an epidemic. The police commissioner has said this is a national emergency. Now, if you hear national emergency, it means it is something that we should put everything together to stop it. So to the churches, they should be able to preach from the pulpit, engage with the community. We should go out there and do anything they can do, whether it's demonstration, whether it's creating awareness that this thing must stop. To the parents, you are the one who is responsible for the upbringing of this child. Start very early. Once they get very old, you can't teach. We always say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I've seen that if you bring up children with principles, if even they are old, they follow that principle. Let's start early. Some of our kids are too old to bend, but we still have some. I was saying beginning that we started this thing 5 years ago. More than, it started longer than that, but what myself and Archbishop has been 5 years ago, if the kids were 12, now they are 17. You understand? So if the message got to the parents at that time that, look, let's involve, probably I need to stop one job so that I can spend quality time with the kids. It's also an investment. We don't have to buy everything. We don't have to build a house in Ghana or Nigeria or the Caribbean that we go in once in 7 years. Let's spend time with the kids. Probably some of those money, if we spend them on the kids, give it to them to buy their shoes, to buy what they might not turn to those life of crime. Because we will send all our money to Africa for people to just use them for us. And they will not even use it for what. And your kids are here, they want trainers, and you go and pick something that they can't even wear. But if you have the money here, you stop all those projects that probably you never go and live in them. And concentrate on these kids. Their self-esteem will go up. They know mommy will buy me a nice shoe, a nice jacket, and whatever. So if somebody is somewhere trying to woo them into a bad behavior, they will not. But if you leave them like that, young people will be young people. They want the same fancy shoe that the friend has got. Mommy doesn't care. You go and find it somewhere. So to the parents, they have to be more involved with their kids and more concerned about the welfare of the kids.
Thank you.
And to the media groups like you two, you should also drive. For example, if right now I want to, you were asking, how do I get all the churches involved? If your group or the platform of the media are not there to help, how can I pay ABN to advertise that we are doing this program? I wouldn't have the money. How can I pay Omega House to say? So if everybody is involved and we all put it out there, we're having one big meeting, all churches, let's meet Broadwater farms to address these issues. If you are broadcasting it, ABN is broadcasting it, WBLS, Hot FM, if they're all doing it, then the awareness is there that this is all our problem. It's not like Bishop Sarpong, who is interested in my child has not died, but do I have to wait for my child to die before? Somebody's child has died. I was there with him. I was crying with him because it's painful to have your only child go
you are
through
the
that.
father of the country as well.
You understand?
And the community.
So we say that if it happened to your friend, it has happened to you. So we don't have to sit down and say, well, our children are okay. Look, now, if you look at the epidemic, I was given one figure that the crime has increased by 21% last year alone. And 700 children were victims 2018. 700, not even youth. Children. 2018, 700 in the Midlands. So now it might not be the one selling drugs or the one fighting the postcode. Even your child who has closed from school and coming home can be a victim of crime. So to the media groups, to the community groups, we should all come together and make sure that we solve this. And with the help of God, we have been praying, we have been doing everything, but prayer without action is useless. I pray. I have all night every Wednesday crying on this. But apart from that, I'm on the stairs of Westfield. Also demonstrating. You understand? So we can't say, oh, let's pray and just sit there and just pray. When we pray, we have to take action.
Yes.
So the churches, even though we are praying, we should also take action. And I believe that with the help of God, this situation will be solved. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bishop Francis Sarpong. We are lucky to have you here from your busy schedule today. Tony, do you have any message, knowing what you have been through? You've been through a very difficult period, and you're still going through.
Yeah. It's a very difficult time. As I said, with God, all things are possible. What I will say to the community and the police, and what I've heard since Nana's death, is nobody wants to come forward because the police have let the community down, and the community too have let the police down, because any information that they pass on to the police, it will leak back to the crime scene, and you will be, whilst you are helping, you rather be a victim. So because of that, no one wants to come forward when someone is killed or when someone is stabbed. So I would plead with the community and the police, like, they should keep information that are secrets, so that they can get more information from the community. That's all I can say to both the community and the police.
Thank you, Tony, for coming today. If you have information which could lead to the arrest of DJ Banga, Elion Poku, please contact the police and give them information. If you're a parent who knows that maybe your young person was involved with this crime, please contact the police and let them know by calling 999 or other numbers that you may have, which could help lead to the arrest of the individual or the person involved or the group involved. We also would like to thank Bishop Francis Sarpong for his contribution today, and also for accepting our invitation to give us an opportunity to discuss these issues involving knife and gun crime. As parents, we have failed our young people the moment they carry knife or involved in issues involving antisocial behavior. And the message is that, knife crime and gang affiliation is on the up, and we urge you, as Bishop have said, that if we follow this method, then we are more likely to support our young people and help us to live independently as a family. Thank you all and good night. God bless you all. Good night. Good night.